What's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back to the Marketing Nomad YouTube channel. I am the Marketing Nomad. Alrighty, so this is going to be more of a screen recording, though you'll see me at the top right hand side. I'll be talking to you as I work through it. I will not be fast forwarding any part of this video just because I want to show you how simple this is and how quickly it will all come together for you. A few things that I would like to tell you. This is, in my opinion, the simplest and the most comprehensive tracker that I have ever done for myself, and I am absolutely in love with it. All right, this is something that I have kept telling for about 5-6 years now. You have to track everything in your life as much as possible. Keep tracking. All right, the reasons why I feel it has worked for me, like tracking, and why I absolutely swear by it, is because when you track, you know exactly where you are, you know exactly where your journey has been so far, or how your journey has been so far, where do you want to get to, how to get to that point, whether you are going to need some course correction or whether you are on that path. There are so many different reasons why tracking is an absolute game changer, and I really swear by it. Now, the change that I made, and this was a change that I made this year, before my tracking was all on an analog system. It was in my book. I had like a very specific tracking book. It was a dotted journal, and I would track in that. It was only reserved for tracking, and I've been doing that for about 5 years. The first 2 years I wasn't able to stay consistent with it, so I would do for like maybe 2 months, and then I'd skip 3 months, and then I'd come back to it, so on and so forth. So it took me a good 2 years to start showing up every day for myself with respect to tracking. Now, there are a couple of changes that I have made with respect to the analog versus the digital. Now, the first change that I have made is I introduced a rule, and I'll get into that. That is going to be the theme of this entire video, so you're going to hear me say that a lot to you, all right? But in my analog, one of the problems that I faced when I was doing it, it was great for a while, but then I became more and more comprehensive. So this is me technically 3 years in going deep into habit tracking, or life tracking as I would call it. And so, because the first 2 years technically don't count, right? So 3 years, and so there was so much that I had started to track for myself, for my life, and I even introduced the 9 areas of my life as well, right? So there are individual things that I am tracking for each area of my life as well. So my list of tracking became so comprehensive, and it became so much that I couldn't really keep up with the analog. That was one reason why I decided mid of this year actually to shift from an analog system into a digital system. The second, with respect to the analog system, and I feel like I've shown it to you in a couple of videos before, like my bullet journal method. Yes, so there was actually there was some parts where I had to draw the graph. There was some parts where I had to write it out actually. If it was me tracking my weight, I had to write it out. Then what else? I was also tracking a certain behavioral patterns of mine, so on and so forth. So all of that, mostly some of them were ticks, but some of them I had to actually write it out. And that I felt was hindering, or was starting to get very difficult for me to keep up, because my tracking time was taking more than 15 minutes. And when it takes that amount of time, you stop doing it. It's very natural. I mean, the shorter the time is and the less brain work that you have to do when it comes to tracking, yeah, more likely you're going to sustain it long term. And so that was also one more thing that I realized, that I needed this to be something of a reflex, or something that I just could, at the end of the day, I'm tired, I don't want to think anymore, and I just have to mindlessly do this. I wanted to set up a system that could help me with that. All right. And so that was one of the reasons, actually, that was the biggest reason why I shifted from analog to digital. In just a few seconds, I am going to hit the record button on my screen. And so you will see me shift to the top right hand corner. Yes, I think it's the top right hand corner. And then we will start with the actual thing. So there is only one rule for this entire tracking system. The rule is there is no typing, there is only ticking. All right, I'm going to repeat it because this is the most important rule. There is no typing, there is only ticking. All right, so whatever it is that you want to track, We are going to convert it into a system where you just tick. You remember how I said we have to do this mindlessly? Like, we are facilitating that environment for ourselves, all right? Because most likely when you're tracking, you're tired. It's at the end of the day. There are some things that you will track in the beginning of the day, and that's a different mindset, yes. But at the same time, there are going to be quite a lot of things that you have to do at the end of the day. Like, you go through that entire day and then you track, right? So you don't want to be thinking too much about it. You don't want to, put in that much of effort because it's end of the day, and you want to kind of tell yourself, okay, you know what, it's just gonna take 30 seconds, or it's just gonna take a minute, let's just finish it off, rather than, okay, this is gonna be 15 minutes of my time and I need to think as I'm doing it. Yeah, those are two different mindsets. And for me, yeah, the second one was starting to get very, very difficult for me. All right, so I switched to the digital now. So other than 2 or 3 things, and that's the thing, that there are 2 things or 3 things, I guess I would say, that I'm tracking in front of me, and that's obviously an analog system that I have over here and over here. I have made 2 or 3 videos about it in the past, and you can definitely check it out. Those 2, it still goes in my digital tracking system as well. All right, just because it's in front of me does not mean I'm not tracking it in the digital, because that one wipes away after 12 months. I want to keep this record for as long as possible. In fact, I want to be able to, kind of look back at this data 5 years from now and, kind of take a look at how my journey has been, how my life has maybe transformed or evolved with my habits, so on and so forth. So my goal for my tracking system might be ambitious, but because it's digital, I'm confident that I will be able to do it. With the analog, I wasn't so confident. I was like, yeah, probably gonna throw this book away after it's done, just that I don't have space, or it's just going to gather dust. How many times am I actually going to keep going back and forth with this book? So that was also one more reason why I shifted into the digital, all right? So there is one rule, and one rule only. There is no typing, there is only ticking, and we want to make our lives as simple and easy as possible, and we want to make this tracking system as followable as possible. All right, I hope that's a word. We are going to make it a word, all right? Because my entire intention for this was something that I could keep up with long term. So that is my entire thought process behind creating this, all right? So if you are watching this video at the time of me posting it, yes, you can definitely set it up for the year that's coming. It will be like a brand new start. But for those of you who are watching this video, maybe sometime in the middle of the year, remember, I started this in the middle of the year, so there's no right or wrong time to start it. You can even just start it from today or from the day that you watch it, all right? Just adjust the dates accordingly, right? So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to start at the beginning of the year. Absolutely not. I started mid-year and it's been going fantastic for me, all right? Okay, enough of me talking. I have definitely put timestamps in the description below. If you want to come back to this video to go through the screen recording part of it, you just go to the timestamps and then you can just click on it and it will directly lead you to the moment where I start the screen recording, all right? Okay. Alrighty, so now we get into the recording part of this video, the screen recording part of this video. Hold on, I gotta just make a few adjustments over here. And we are recording in 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go. Okay, so this is most likely what your Google spreadsheet is gonna look like. What I am going to do now is just some formatting things. I am going to make the text size 7 for all of the cells. And then I am going to align it. I'll just make it middle, and then I'll also vertically align it as well. This is just to make it a little bit cleaner. All right, so each of the cells, I want to make it as small as possible. Just that the smaller it is, the more you can see in just one look, right? Then that's what we're going for at this point in time. Alrighty, so the first column is going to be for your month. I would leave about 3 rows and then we'll start from the 4th, all right? And I'll explain why in just a little bit. So we have the first column is going to be the month. The second one is going to be the date. So depending on where you are at, whichever part of the world, you will have your own system of writing your date. I would say just write In B4, it's going to be your date. In C4, it's going to be the day, right? So there's a formula for this. We'll just implement the formula. It is text, open bracket, and then we have B4 as the previous cell, right? So we want the day for that. So it's text, open bracket, B4, or whichever cell was there before, which contains your date, comma, open your, what is that, quotes, yes. And then write DDD. If you just want a single letter, you would just put one D. I prefer it to be 3 letters. So DDD, close your quote, and the colon, all right? So, and then it will autofill. Now, what you can do, just, we started at row 4, so we'll go up until row 368. Just drag it down, all right? Hold on, I accidentally clicked something else. All right, we'll just drag it down, all right? We will go up until 368. Yes, wait, here, yeah. All right, so then I will just double click on the B column just to make it a little bit spaced out. Now, this is a little bit of manual work. Yes, we've got to do this, so we are going to do it, all right? So wherever you see Sunday, just block it out, all right? This is just so that you have week markers. When I say week markers, I mean WEEK. So you know when each week is starting, ending. It's just easier for you to track. For me, and this is just like, I'm just making conversation right now as I'm doing this. But for me, the moment I finish that week, I just hide that particular column. I hide those particular rows. Just that I'm only tracking week by week, and then when I want to go back and evaluate where I'm at, I want to see my progress and how I've been all these weeks, then I just unhide those rows. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but I struggle a little bit with, sometimes I call a row the column, I call the column a row, and like logically I know obviously the column is like this and the row like that, but yeah, I struggle a little bit when it comes to saying it out loud. So yes, you might hear me correcting myself a little bit more than necessary. Alrighty, so this is just to help you understand, or I guess break down the entire year into smaller chunks. All right, so first you track in that given week. Are you sticking to your goal? How are you kind of showing up for yourself in that particular week? So you keep your focus in the week first, and then you slowly build it out to, okay, how was I that particular month? So that it also kind of reduces that strain on you. You know, you're not overwhelmed that, oh my gosh, I'm looking at so much of data at the same time. Tends to happen. It's happened with me. That's why I feel like I, in particular, like doing this. Doesn't take too long. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't want to forward or fast forward anything in this because I want you to know how much time it actually takes and that it's not going to take too long. It's just, yes, a little bit of formatting, a little bit of making it look pretty. The reason why I make it look a little bit pretty, there's a reason to that, is because it makes it inviting to me. You know, the colors, the formatting, just how clean it is. It's very inviting. It makes me feel like, yes, you know, I'm tracking something and it looks good. I feel good. So all of this prep is necessary, I feel. If you think about the long-term return on investment that you get, it's absolutely worth it, and it's not going to take too long. This is just my personal preference to break it down into weeks. Alrighty. But yeah, this one's actually been like an absolute game changer for me. I started mid of this year, so it's been a couple of months, but yeah, it's been amazing. And that's the thing. So first, when I started doing this, I literally just replicated what was in my analog, the book, the journaling book. And that's when I did it for like 2 or 3 days, and then there was just so much to track, and I was like, you know what, this format is not working for me. I got to change, and I got to create a rule over here so that I can follow it and so that I will not be overwhelmed. So that's when the rule actually came in for me. That, you know, there's going to be no typing. We're not typing at all. We're just going to be ticking. That's pretty much it, right? So yes, I'm almost done. I'm in October right now. Let's just keep going. Yes, I do feel like the formatting does take a bit of time, but absolutely worth it for me. And this is just a personal preference for me, but anything that you're not using below that, I would delete it, just because I think that there's a certain restriction to the amount of cells that you have for Google spreadsheets. That's just me, but you know, you can leave it as it is as well. It's completely on you. But if you find that, you know, they say that you've run out of cells or something, like you've been doing this for quite some time, like a few years, then just delete the cells, delete the rows or columns that you've not used or you're not using, then it should be fine. Okay, so 31st of December is Thursday. Okay, so we started with, okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in the month, all right? Because sometimes you wanna just track the month. So I'll just merge it, and we don't do anything about it. We just merge it, all right? And then later we'll fill in the month, but we'll merge that until that point. Okay. So you can do along with me, or you can forward it depending on where you are at. But yeah, you can do this as like a do along with me. Pause this video if you have to. But yeah, I kind of decided, I thought I would fast forward all of this, but then I decided, no. If you maybe want to do it with me, you can just sit down and do it. It's actually very, very relaxing just to do all this. I don't know, I feel like all of this is self-care, you know, at the end of the day. You're giving yourself this time. You're making things look pretty for yourself. I don't know, it's just, it's nice. But also, I guess it's how you look at it as well. All right, so, all right, we're almost done. We're in October. Just merging all of them. Where are you? November 30th. And then we have the 31st. All right, perfect. All right, so we have January. I'm pretty sure, yeah, okay. And then January, February. I feel like it will, no, it might not, because the number of days are different, right, for each month? Okay, then we'll not do that. March, April, forgot there for a second. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and November, December. Perfect. All right, so then we'll also get this with our borders as well. All right, so what I have done for my spreadsheet is that I have put beautiful colors for each of the months, just to, because you can't see the January, right? It's a little bit lower. So of course you can put that up, but if you want, you can make it a different color, which we will be doing, all right? Because I'm showing you the complete process. So maybe January, I want this color. February, let's make this. March, that's a beautiful color. April, May, I really like this color. May, June. So it's completely on to you. You can use your brand colors as well if you'd like, or specific colors that you want to, just identify, it's completely onto you. I'll leave the formatting part to you, like the colors aspect of it. I don't want to use red, so I'm just changing the color over there. Just that red to me in this entire spreadsheet, red will mean no, or red will mean caution, right? So I prefer not to use red when it comes to marking. Green, yeah, even I do have a little bit of hesitation to use green, because some of the greens that I use will be like go or thumbs up, you're doing a good job, right? Okay, so I want to, this is just formatting stuff that I'm just a little bit, I want to be a little bit particular about, but that's just me, all right? I just made the colorful, all right, bold. All right, now let us get into our rule. Our rule is no typing, only ticking. All right, so a few questions that you can ask yourself at this point is, where do you want to be at the end of that particular year that you are tracking? All right, so that will be your final point. Then you have to ask yourself, where am I at right now? Right? And there's definitely going to be a gap, right? Because this is going to be an aspirational life tracking, but you're also kind of marking your progress as you get to that goal, right? So there's definitely going to be some distance, but this is where it gets a little bit tricky when you are creating it for yourself. Try to find comfortable points in between. So let me give you an example, all right? For example, you are tracking your wake up time, right? The aspirational, that is, where do you want to be at the end of the year, is you want to be someone who consistently wakes up at, let's say, for example, 6 a.m. All right, so that's the end point that you want to get to by the end of this year. Where are you at? Maybe you're waking up at 8:39 at this point. All right, so there's a big gap over here, 6 a.m. and maybe 9 a.m. Let's keep it at that 3-hour gap. All right, so what I would do if I were you is I would give myself increments. All right, comfortable points of increments between the 6 a.m. and the 9 a.m. so that I have a range of flexibility. So I don't have to directly jump from 9 a.m. to 6 a.m. and, I don't have to put myself through that kind of pressure. But at the same time, I am slowly going to try making progress to shift to the 6 a.m. wake up time. So what I did was 9 a.m. was the first point. Then 8 a.m., 7 a.m., and then 6 a.m. So you're giving yourself comfortable break points in between. So maybe some days I wake up at 6 a.m., so I tick that. But some days, maybe not 6, but I was able to wake up at 7, which is slightly better than 9 a.m. At least there was a routine forming. So I'm not discrediting anything that happens in between, but I'm also tracking my progress. So this is very important. So there are 3 questions. The first question that you have to ask yourself is, where do you want to be at the end of the year that you're tracking? Or where do you want to be at the end point? All right. And where are you at now? And what are some comfortable points that you can put yourself, like in between points, in between milestones that you can put for yourself? All right. So let's take the example that we did just now, which is the wake up time. All right. So we have the wake up time. The first one that I said was 6 a.m., right? 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right. And then this is going to be, let's just merge it and we'll say wake up time. All right. And remember, I said that everything from now on, there is no typing, only ticking, right? So I have to do that. So what you do is go to the first box, all right, and go all the way to the last box. It will be, where is it? Thursday. And then, yes, it's here. All right. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to press shift. All right. Basically, you have to kind of select all of these. All right. Yes, now I did that. Then you insert, and then you insert tick boxes. That's pretty much it. Look at how pretty it looks. All right. Now, if you want to make it tighter, you can. All right. For example, when I say tighter, I mean just reduce the size of this. Like if you want to make it just enough for the box. All right. And if you have more to track, what I would recommend doing is, of course, we've written the wake up time over here. Let's just delete that for now. But if you want to add more, just add more. 23 columns to the right. All right. Of course, you will have to redo your line thing, but yes, that's completely, you can do it. at your own time. All right, so we'll focus right now, but that's just an example that I had for you. All right, now let's get into the we have all our boxes filled, right? So you'll definitely have more. I have quite a lot that I am tracking, so you'll definitely have more. So let's go for wake up time, and then we had 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., all right? So what I personally do is for these, I just make it a little bit bold, and even the ones that I just personally prefer to be bold. Now, this is where it gets so beautiful, all right? First off, let me actually, I want to, so that entire, those 4 columns, yes. I told you I'm gonna struggle a little bit with this. Yeah, those 4 columns, what I'm going to do is, yeah, I thought I would just do it like that, but I thought I would go till the end, but you know what, that's it. That's pretty much it, all right? Do the entire border for those 4 columns, and that's it. That's how you get your first set of things that you are tracking. And if you note, you are not writing anything down, you are not typing anything, you are just going to be ticking. And this is where it gets so beautiful. I make it different colors, all right? So 6 is the ideal time that I want to be. I put my favorite color there. That's it. That's pretty much it. You know, that's the ideal time. 7, that's still good. Yeah, so a different color. And then I just make it, and then 9 is where I am at right now. So that's something that I want to change. All right, so I make each of them different colors, and it is so beautiful. Like, look at this. When you tick, it just looks so pretty. All right, this is it just makes me so happy just watching all of the colors and me ticking. There's so much of that I don't know, I think it's like a very feel-good factor to see the colors on your spreadsheet. All right, so this is how I would go about it. Of course, there are so many things that you can track. I would recommend going to 9 areas of your life. All right, for me, my 9 areas of my life, I'm just looking at the board because it's right there. I have business, health, growth, environment, spiritual, finances, relationships, personal, fun. All right, I am tracking many things in each of these areas of my life, and I'll give you a few examples. All right, you can track your, and I've written it down for you, you can track your sleep time, you can track your wake up time, you can track your energy level, low, medium, high, so you put a tick wherever you are at. Anxiety, low, medium, high, this is something that's very important for me. Your mood, I do emojis. All right, the old-fashioned emojis, not the ones that you see on your phone. So it's like 2 dots and a smile, or 2 dots and a straight line for angry, 2 dots and an S if I'm feeling very jittery the whole day, or like I'm kind of struggling with my anxiety that whole day. That's the S for me. Then smiley face, then 2 smileys. Yeah, 2 like 2 close brackets. That would be like, yeah, it was a really good day. Some will be sad. I put a sad face as well. So different moods, you can definitely do that. I track my dreams. So whether it was a good dream, it was a neutral dream, or no dream, or it was a bad dream, what was it? I put ticks for all of them. Then my health. All right, so this one, I track every single symptom that I can possibly get. So there is stomach upset, migraine, then there's migraine, there's headache, because those are 2 different things for me, and I know when I'm getting into migraine territory. Then there's PMS symptoms that you want to track if you want to track. There's if you want to track your Shark Week, that's also something that you can track. What else? Yes, this is something that's very important to me. I track when I have medicines as well, just that sometimes I have allergies and I don't want to take too much of medication, so I track how many times I'm taking medicines, or what is the frequency of medicines that I'm taking. So allergies I track, and then there's a column where I say I'm absolutely good, everything's perfect with me, and I'm feeling good and healthy that particular day. Then if you want to track like PMS symptoms, you can absolutely do so as well. Make it as clear and as big as possible. I would say the more detailed you can go, you don't have to think too much. You just have to go to that particular column and then just click that tick. That's pretty much it. That's why this works so well. And I've got many columns, and it just takes me less than a minute or 2 every single day, not more than that. All right, because it's just ticking, right? So that is with the health. write down all the symptoms that you can think of and just put a tick. You can always add columns as you go throughout the year. Like if there's something new that pops up and you're like, oh, okay, I want to track this, you can always add something new. Then you can track your nap, how much time you're napping. You can track your water. For water, I have like the number of bottles I'm drinking, and I'm improving on that. I'm kind of like getting better at it. So I start with 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, so on and so forth. So you can do that. You can do glasses, completely onto you. Don't be shy or don't hesitate to put as many columns as you want for a particular topic. Like if we have wake up time 6 to 9 a.m., you don't have to make it like 6, 7, 8, 9. You can do at 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9. Make it as comfortable as it is for you. All right, make it as detailed as possible for you. All right, that's how you'll actually have so much of data by the end of it to actually see where you are at, see your progress, and feel good about it as well. Right? And then you can track your food. You can absolutely track your food, like when are you having outside food, home food, when is it that you are, and for me, this is something that I track. It's like if I'm having outside food, what food is it? Is it like, am I having pasta? Is it Italian, Asian? Is it, I've also written, I think, Indian over there. So there's like different categories. So I know what are the usual ingredients in that particular cuisine that I would have definitely had. So that way it's a way that I can track what is going inside my body. But if you want to track specific ingredients that you are having, just list those ingredients out and then track that as well. Then exercise. For me, my exercise is so big. My exercise tracking is so big. So the first column is whether I have exercised or not. The second one, so I do exercise and I do walks as well. All right, walks are a little bit more softer. They're just for me to take a break from work. It's just about 30, 45 minutes maximum, all right? And then there's exercise where it's intense working out. So those are two separate things that I have. So for exercise, the amount of time that I am doing, so 30, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. And then I also do, did I focus on my legs, my arms, my core? What is it that I did that particular day? So that's also something, those are individual columns that I have. Then for walk, how many minutes did I do? Like, was it like 15, 30, 45? I just put it out there. That's just my walking breaks. So this is how I've segregated my entire exercise thing. And there's literally like legs, core, or arms. So what did you do today? That's also something that I've broken down. And all I have to do is put a tick. All right. And then self-care activities. When did you maybe do a hair mask or face mask? Or for me, when did I wash my hair? When did I do my nails? When did I, maybe go for like a spa treatment or a massage? When did I, give myself this time? I track everything just so that I know, okay, well, it's been more than a month since maybe I've gone for a massage, or it's been more than a month since I've done so-and-so activity for myself, like face mask or something like that. No, that's something that we need to focus on. Let's do that this week, So that's a little bit of giving yourself some time, giving yourself that acknowledgement that, hey, you've not taken care of yourself in just a little bit. Let's work on that to this week, all right? And then of course I have a completely different set where it is activities related to my business. So the videos that I make, everything, not when it goes live, but when I do it, what am I doing that particular day? I put ticks of it. So if I'm doing a video for TMN, there's literally a column there that says TMN, and that's the video section, and I put a tick to that. If I'm doing maybe a revenue building activity, then the name of that activity, and then I put a tick that particular day. So I'm literally tracking every single thing that I am doing from morning all the way till evening of that particular day. What is happening in my life, every single thing is tracking or is being tracked by me. Now, for me, there are two kind of tips that I do have. One, you can absolutely rearrange your like list of things that you're tracking. You can rearrange it according to priority, but what has worked for me is rearranging it according to the time of day that I do it. So actually, the moment I wake up in the morning, I do my wake up time, I do my previous night's sleep time, and then there are a couple of other things that I also track, like my morning routine of journaling, so on and so forth. So that's in the morning segment of my day. So all of that comes in the beginning part of the spreadsheet. So it's not like I'm keeping the entire spreadsheet for my night to do. So I'm kind of breaking it down into 3 different times of the day. So the moment, I finish my breakfast, I just come, the daily log, I call it the daily log. It's just open in front of me, and I do the morning section of it. Then, comes the afternoon, or I guess post breakfast to all the way till maybe 5 p.m. That's one section of my day where I'm doing most of my business work. I'm doing most of my like revenue building activities, so on and so forth. So that part of it comes in the middle. Then my exercise and my exercise comes in the morning, my walk comes in the evening, so you can separate that out. So basically segregating your entire spreadsheet into the time of the day that you do it, that might actually help you, because you can just keep going into that spreadsheet and just keep filling it out as the time goes. And trust me, it'll be less than 10 to 15 seconds if you break it out this way, because by the end of the day, you've already filled most of your spreadsheet and you're just coming in to fill what you've done from maybe 5 p.m. all the way till your sleep time. And that is also something that you'll fill the next day. Your sleep time is something that you'll fill the next day. So you can also include your hobbies, maybe doctor appointments, when was the last time that you did something for yourself, so on and so forth. There's so many different things that you can track, and that's why I call this the life tracker. For me, I call it the daily log, because it's just everything that I do in a given day, I track. I make sure that it is there. If there's something new that I'm starting, it comes in as a new a separate section of my spreadsheet. So it's very, very beautiful. Like, the more you put colors, the more you make it look pretty and inviting, the more you have color codes for each of the activities. Yeah, that also will help you feel good, because when you see, like I said, red is a very particular color that I have, that if I have a lot of reds in that particular week, it means I'm not keeping up with my ideal week or my ideal month. And so that kind of like sets a bell in my mind that, okay, we've got to reframe that. We've got to make it better the next month. All right. So I keep specific color codes, like red. Red is very, like, I will not touch red for anything else other than non-ideal things that I want to, like non-ideal showing up that I did. All right, so that's the only time you will see red in my spreadsheet. So you can have codes like that for you, color codes for specific things as well. And yeah, overall, this has absolutely changed my life. Like, this is so systematic, so beautiful. I will show you a screenshot of how it looks for me, my entire thing. But of course, there are so many sensitive things that I am tracking as well. So I'll kind of blur that part out. But I will show you the how it just looks when it's completely done. All right. So you can keep going as much as you want. I would say, yes. So the more that you track, the more you're actually understanding yourself. And I think that that is just fantastic as a return on investment. And one thing that I particularly do is every single week, at the end of the week, maybe Sunday, I just take a look at how the week went. That's pretty much it. Just see, where were the ticks more, where were the ticks less. Is that what you want? Is that not what you want? Where do you want to be? Just kind of reflect on that just for a few seconds. Doesn't take more than 5 minutes. Less than that. It doesn't take more than that. And just see, okay, well, too many reds over here. Let's not do that this week. So you're actually setting intentions for yourself for the next week as well. And I think that that's pretty awesome too. All right. So, and then at the end of the month, just maybe take a look at the whole month. How have you shown up for yourself, or how have you shown up in your life? Maybe there's something that you want to do better for the next month, or there's something that you want to keep going for the next month. You're quite happy with your progress in that area, and you want to give yourself that motivation. So this is how it helps. So it's not just about tracking, it's also about taking those few seconds or few minutes, I guess I would say, to look back at that week and then look back at that month. And of course, as more time goes, I haven't hit that point yet, but maybe 6 months in, look back at the last 6 months and see where or how has your progress been. For me, it's just been a couple of months. I'm probably gonna hit 6 months next month. But yeah, so I haven't hit that point yet, but that's probably something that I will do. And you can either keep going, just keep going with the days. Like even if you finish the year, you can just keep hiding your rows as you are done with that week, so that it doesn't look overwhelming for you. It doesn't feel too much of information. You don't have to scroll too much. You're just there, and the first 7 rows are what you have to deal with this week if you've hidden all of that. So that's also something you will see if you go back to the spreadsheet of mine that I showed you. Yeah, you'll see that there are few rows that are hidden. So you just click that and then it'll come out and you'll be able to see your past progress. But I, for one, found it very, very overwhelming. So I just hide it, and then it's just only this week that I need to focus on and just tag. Don't even think about it when you're tagging. Just spend some time to review at the end of the week. So that also kind of relaxes your mind that it's just ticking. Right? So that is the final rule, or the only rule, I guess I would say, is that there is no typing in this. It's only ticking. That's what in my opinion makes it so good, because especially when your tracking gets more and more comprehensive, there's a tendency to let it go, or there's a tendency to get overwhelmed. But for me, 9 areas of my life, and I'm tracking quite a bit of things in each area of my life, and despite that, or I don't know, it's just not been overwhelming. It's just very, very simple. And especially because I break it down to different parts of the day, it makes it even less overwhelming for me, because I've already finished a good chunk of my tracking in the morning, then in the afternoon, then in the evening, and that's pretty much it. All right. So I really hoped that this video gave you a good starting point to create a life tracker for yourself. Like I said, I call it the daily log, but you can call it whatever you want. All right. I really hope that you can make it as inviting, as pretty, as comprehensive, as simple as it needs to be for you as well. All right. So this is where I will leave you. If this video has helped you in some way, please definitely do give me a thumbs up, hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube video, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye bye.